I'm Luke here with Andy.
Hello.
Hello, Andy.
Hi.
I have a theory, Andy, about Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Just one?
I have many, but there's
theories.
one in particular I want to talk about.
Okay.
Is the theory that Princess Zelda herself is easily the most interesting character in the game.
Ooh, dish.
You must hurry, Link.
Now, we're going to be talking a lot of spoilers here, so consider this your official spoiler warning.
Big spoilers.
Big spoilers. Nothing's off limits. We're going to this
here.
big. That's the words.
Yeah.
So you're clear now from the writing and the talking.
Use the most impactful font there is.
Impact. So Andy, you've played the game all the way through.
Yes, I have. You said that you'd finish, so I could just take the Switch.
Yeah, so
no one else was waiting to play it.
Well, I knew you really wanted to play it, and I'd finished most of it, so I just passed it along to you.
So, like, there was literally no one else who could have played it.
There was no problem.
I think Ellen's got headphones in, she can't hear anything.
Yes, she can't. That's probably just as well. And having played it all the way through, Andy, did you notice that in all of the memories that Link unlocks, Zelda was the only character who had any kind of progression?
Yes.
In that she could not use her powers and the memories, and I think actually the real story of Breath of the Wild is all about Zelda trying to get those powers back and figure out why she couldn't do it and trying to essentially get her mojo.
Yeah, I thought it was quite sad because that was like her whole destiny and almost her whole reason for being was you are the one who can use the power to seal the darkness.
That's right.
And then she's like, cool, can't wait to do that. And then she's like, oh, I can't do that though.
Yeah, and finds herself unable to. I think if you compare it to Link, for instance, and to other characters in the Zelda universe, they just find themselves able to fulfill their destiny.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of friction in the Zelda games usually about whether or not people can actually do the thing that they are destined to do. The whole series is all about just being, destined to do something, and then they do.
Well, Link is he's amazing, and then he gets all messed up, and then he wakes up 100 years later and he's instantly amazing again.
Yeah.
Like, he's got no memory, but he's still amazing. And then you're like, oh, yeah, okay, that's cool. And I think there is, it's maybe in Zelda's diary that you find in the study, where she's just like, oh, everything comes so easily to Link, he's just amazing without even having to try. What a dick.
Super frustrating for Zelda.
Yeah.
But, it's just another, it's a reason why Zelda is, I think, the only one with any character progression. Like, she has something to overcome, she has a problem in the game, whereas Link really is just, as you say, he's from day one, from the moment he wakes up, even though he's only got 3 or 4 hearts or whatever, he's still basically perfect. Nothing's an obstacle for him, really. Yeah. As he travels across Hyrule, he meets people who just get out of his way and do as he says because they recognise him as the champion, and that is a privilege that Zelda in the memories does not have.
That ugly pain in the crack is Ganon's handiwork. Thing got the best of me 100 years ago. Good luck, little guy. Go get him!
All the Divine Beast pilots, they're all like, oh, I faced this Windblight Ganon back in the day and he killed me. And you're like, not even a problem.
Wasn't that hard?
Yeah.
Maybe you should have not been so terrible.
Maybe you should have used your Z lock and jumped out of the way.
Yeah, maybe Zelda should have hired better pilots.
Yeah, I could pilot all of these Divine Beasts.
Link probably could. Link
at the same
probably
time.
could just pilot them all at the same time.
Just one hand and 1 foot on each one.
Yeah.
Across.
This is easy.
Battle them.
Everything's easy for Link.
Everything is easy for he's just shield surf his way down there.
Yeah.
Backflip onto it.
So I think the memory that sums this up the most perfectly is the one where Zelda is praying, and she's basically just praying to a statue to be able to fulfill her destiny, the destiny that everyone else seems to be able to trigger with absolutely no problems.
Yeah. And the statue's just like...
Yeah, which is interesting as well because the statue is just stone and impassive, as statues are. But when you're Link, you rock up to it and it's like, hello, Link. Do you want some hearts or some stamina?
Want a back rub?
Yeah, I see you're doing a great job.
Stewed apples?
Yeah.
Just emit some stewed apples.
Have some, that's absolutely fine. But it doesn't work like that for Zelda. No. And I think that's really interesting.
You think that's because in the traditional hierarchy of the Triforce, the 3-way Triforce thing. So Link is courage.
Link's courage.
Ganon is power.
Ganon's power.
Zelda is wisdom.
Yeah.
And out of all of those things, it seems like wisdom is the one that has to be like earned the most. Like courage can be innate, and power can be like
can be seized.
Yeah, it can be seized. Whereas wisdom is something that you have to arrive at over time, and a lot of like introspection and self-searching.
I see that.
So this is like a necessary part of her journey.
I know what you mean. Like she actually has to work and study, and you see her like she's out studying frogs and wildlife and looking at flowers and things like that, and just trying to be the best Zelda she can be and have the most wisdom. But it turns out that actually the way that she gets her powers isn't through any of that at all. It's just by saving Link's life in a moment of passion, in that classic sort of love conquers all kind of style.
I feel like it wouldn't be wisdom if it was instantly arrived at. It would be, it needs to be kind of arrived at over a long period of learning about yourself until you finally go, oh, now I understand, now I have that wisdom.
Do you think that but I kind of got the impression when she like finally jumped in the way of that Guardian Beam and saved Link's life, I sort of got the very strong vibe that that's what she should have done all along, and that actually all of the reading up on frogs and flowers and all the rest of it was not what she needed to be doing. Basically, it's slightly counterintuitive though, isn't it? Because she's trying to Triforce of Wisdom with her head, and in the end she does it with her heart, and it's fine. But that surely is what courage is more about.
Well, I think maybe it's because all of that time she's been spending time with Link, and again you see it in her diary, it's like it's slowly coming around to Link.
Yeah.
That sort of slow build is what led her to put herself in that position at the end, rather than if that had happened at the start of the game when she thought Link was a jerk who wouldn't leave her alone, she wouldn't have done that.
At the start of the game, when you start unfolding the memories, she's trapped in the castle, she can't get her powers back, and then at the end, she figures it all out, which is more of an arc than Link gets. So I think that Zelda's inability to do magic and seal away Ganon
to be a Zelda
to be Zelda is actually the most subversive thing in the series. I know when the game was being talked about before it was released, there was all this talk of the open world being revolutionary, Link being able to jump, Link not wearing green and stuff like that, and I was really taken in by that, and all that stuff is excellent and it is subversive to the series. But actually I think if you compare it to other Zelda games in the series, the thing that is the most controversial is that idea of basically fate just not working out for you. Like, I can't think of any other moment in the Zelda series where Zelda or Link or Ganon has just not been able to do it.
Yeah.
I think that in a way, it's the most subversive thing in the game.
I thought the best example of that was when all of the champions of the different races, they're all stood around, and Zelda comes back down the mountain and they're like, did he get it? Did you
get it?
And then she's like,
did you pass?
No.
How'd everything go up there on the mountain?
And they're like, oh.
Oh, that's literally never happened
Really?
in 10,000 years.
Yeah, did you got the right mountain? Was it?
And you're definitely the princess, right?
I mean, not just, is that your real hair?
But like, you feel that that desperation and that pressure that she's under. It feels like going to collect your GCSE results or something.
God.
Like, you know, it's that sort of like everyone being like, or like taking a driving test and everyone around you can already drive, and it's that feeling of like, it's easy, right? You did it and it's fine. And
so
now,
let's all drive off in our divine beasts.
Yeah, and she's like, no. It's just really unusual to encounter a scenario in that universe where things just happen, and this repeating pattern of Ganon and Link and Zelda being reborn and reborn and reborn, and Zelda just suddenly just being a bad Link not a bad Link, but you know, like a broken,
like a worse Link.
Yeah, she's a broken link in that chain.
This whole cycle is different in other ways. I mean, Ganon, like it says at the end, he's given up on resurrection this time, and he's just sort of broken down into this like
primordial.
Yeah, this like abased version of Ganon, like this kind of manifestation of hate that he is at the end.
I love that.
Yeah, but I mean that's different. Again, that's different to the usual cycle as well, because Ganon would usually come back and then he'd be defeated and then he'd be locked away as well. So he's different. Zelda's different. I mean, Link, you know, he died in that first. He had to be put in the Shrine of Resurrection. So again, that's out of the usual pattern as well.
Everything's out of whack.
Yeah,
it takes it completely out of whack, and Zelda is right at the core of that. So speaking of Ganon, since you mentioned him, can we talk about how Zelda is the one who's actually fighting the bad guy? Because Link, when he wakes up at the start of the game, Zelda has already been locked in conflict with Ganon for 100 years.
Yeah.
And when Link finally brings the fight to Ganon, he helps Zelda, but she's the one who deals the final blow.
Yeah, I mean, she gives him the bow of light, and then once you've beaten him with that, she's the one who hits him with the Zelda laser, or whatever it is.
She's also the one who, when Link wakes up, lays out the entire plan. So when you think about it, Link, he certainly follows orders, but he's not really, at least when you think about it in terms of defeating Ganon, he's not the driving force really, is he?
It seems I'm the only one with a mind of my own.
Link is the one with the Master Sword, he's the one who frees the Divine Beasts, but you know, Zelda told him to do that. Zelda basically sets up the whole thing to do. He's just ticking the boxes. He's following through on points of a plan that she's been laying out for 100 years.
He's like a drone, and she's like the drone operator. She's like, go over here, do that.
He's like a guardian.
Yeah.
And she's Ganon. She's in charge. She's got the plan. And again, I do think it's significant that at the end, she's the one who finishes Ganon off. It's a little bit weird, isn't it? Because there is that talk about Ganon being like in his final form. He's given up on reincarnation, but then she does say something about sealing him away again. Yeah. Which sort of, I guess, suggests he might come back.
Yeah, true. I mean, I assume that's the reason that she can't hear the voice in the sword anymore at the end.
I can no longer hear the voice inside the sword.
And she says, I can't hear its voice. I assume the reason for that is that Ganon is sealed away and you can only hear it when the kingdom's in danger.
When the kingdom's under threat.
Yeah.
That makes sense, actually.
That's what I assumed.
I think that's a decent theory. I had no clue as to what that meant.
Yeah.
Zelda has a happier ending than anyone else, you know?
Yeah.
Like Link, he's just like this, Link is just a constant. Wakes up pretty chill, end of the game, pretty chill.
Pretty chill.
Doesn't crack a grin particularly,
no,
you know?
Just eats a hearty meat and mushroom skewer.
Delicious.
I like the idea that she's been like locked in conflict with Ganon for 100 years, and she's like, I can't hold him much longer, Link, and you're like, cool, I'll be there in a minute.
Failing.
And then you just run around shield surfing.
Shield surfing competition.
Making mashed bananas.
Snowball rolling.
Making an apple pie.
I've got to help this bird find all these crickets.
Yeah, this guy wants to date Gerudo women.
Yeah,
so
I'm gonna set that up. Yeah.
Gonna do that.
Also, we'll get round to it, Zelda.
How's that going with it? Yeah, I'll be there in a minute. I'm just gonna help this guy get a date.
Trapped
in important.
Castle.
Okay, I mean, are they equally important to you, these quests? Yes,
I like to give every citizen of Hyrule an equal...
I mean, if I were to play favourite Zelda, what would that say to the people of Hyrule?
Would it be a kingdom you'd want to live in, Zelda?
Yeah.
She's like...
I know, I guess you're right, Link.
You're right. As usual, Link, you make an excellent point. Yeah, she has more going on, and she is more meaningfully fighting Ganon than Link is.
Yes.
Which I think is another reason why Link is an interesting character, but nowhere near as interesting as Zelda. So, Link, much as I love him, and his stupid little face, and his stupid hair, and his lovely green hat.
And his dress up.
And his dress up, yes. Much as I think he is a true wonder, I would be the first to admit that he is not the most gripping character, right?
Yes.
However, I think Zelda in Breath of the Wild has so much going on that she actually makes Link more interesting by proxy.
Right.
So Link, previously, in previous games, he's basically like a vector for a vector for the player. He's just
blank slate.
He's a blank slate that you can project yourself onto, so it feels like you're having the fun adventure.
Yeah.
Which is all good. But in Breath of the Wild, because you see Zelda struggling with her powers and unable to sort of trigger them and unable to fulfill her destiny, while Link is there, it casts Link in this new light that is a little bit more complicated, and I think a little bit darker almost. Like it sort of highlights some of Link's failings. And Link's failing is that he's too perfect.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It made sense in the old Zeldas when Zelda was perfect and could hold off the darkness, and that was her role.
Yeah.
And and Link was the warrior, and that's his role. But when he's there, like practicing his swords in the background, and like Zelda's like, well, I can't do this Zelda stuff, and he's just like, yeah, I'm brilliant at this. So
yeah.
He just comes across as a sort of self-important jock.
Exactly. Yeah, that's kind of it, and it makes Link's silence feel all the more significant. Like obviously Link never speaks, that's kind of part of his character, and I'm glad Link doesn't speak. But when you have this situation where Zelda's going through a really hard time, she's really like upset and like, looking to Link for support, and he's just like, it's not so much he can't speak, but he just like, he has nothing to say, you know? You never, like, he's just like, you say that you're having trouble doing something, I don't understand the concept, you know? I don't think Link has ever like encountered the concept of difficulty or adversity or struggle. He's just so good at everything naturally.
Well, I mean, again, in the diaries you find in Zelda's study, did you read those?
Yeah.
There's a bit where she's talking about Link, and she says that she's sort of getting him to open up, and the reason that he's like that is because of all the weight of expectation on him.
Nonsense.
And it just makes him, he has to like appear unflappable and stoic. But really, he has this, he has a rich internal life.
I don't think so. I think that is Zelda projecting onto Link. I think that is Zelda who is having a hard time looking at Link, who is not having a hard time at all. He's just like, I can do it. Everything's fine. I am a hero. I think Zelda's looking at that going, oh, he must feel such a weight of expectation, but he doesn't, she does.
But she does, so she's projecting what she feels.
I think so.
But then she says, oh, he really likes food, and that's sweet.
Oh,
so it's a nice little humanising.
Yeah, more humanising of Zelda than there is of Link, I think.
That's the most humanising thing about Link, is when he eats something, he goes,
yeah, just watching him cook.
Yeah.
Yeah, so adorable.
Yeah.
So, King Rome.
Yep.
You know how at the beginning of the game he's
taught
like,
me how to stew apples.
Yeah.
Never forget it.
He hooks you up with a nice warm doublet.
Yep.
Yeah, and you're like, this guy's nice, he's helping me, and he's like, I'll tell you what happened 100 years ago. I'll give you a paraglider. And you're like, King Rome, good guy.
Thanks for the paraglider.
Is he a good guy though, Andy?
He's a good guy to us because we're the homecoming football star.
Yeah.
But to his own daughter,
not so nice.
He wants the kingdom to be protected, right? And he knows that it's Zelda's destiny. He's just kind of a dick about it.
He is. He's like, it's your destiny, Zelda, so crack on with it, eh?
Yeah.
So what's the hold up?
I saw you pause for 5 seconds to look at a guardian.
Yeah.
When will you stop treating this as some sort of childish game?
Got time to be looking at things?
Yeah, got time. Yeah, do the citizens of Hyrule have time?
No, I mean, if that's what's important to you, Zelda, you go ahead and look at things.
So Zelda has this actual obstacle in her father that, again, Link and no one else typically in Zelda really has. I mean, all of the other Zeldas through, Legend of Zelda history had dads who were presumably supportive.
Nice.
And
but I mean, it's easy to be supportive when your daughter's instantly good at sealing the darkness.
Well, maybe she's instantly good at sealing the darkness because, he gives her a break every now and again. I think that Zelda having to struggle against her dad,
it's definitely a new obstacle that Zelda hasn't faced before.
Yeah,
it's definitely interesting.
It sort of brings this slightly John Hughes kind of Breakfast Clubby kind of vibe into the Zelda universe, which I'm totally in favour of. In Ocarina of Time, there's a moment where Link meets Zelda and they're looking through a window, and Ganondorf, who is much more human and sneaky, he's a Gerudo thief.
Gerudo.
Yeah, a Gerudo. Yeah. Gerudo. He's like sucking up to the king in that cutscene, and you kind of get the impression, and Zelda's like, that guy, isn't he evil? My dad doesn't seem to notice. So maybe it's just a tradition in Zelda that the kings are sort of oblivious and a bit
he's like
thick.
The Sultan in Aladdin. He's being mind controlled by a staff.
He's like, Jafar, what do you want to do to my brain and family? Whatever you want, it's all yours. Zelda speaks.
Yes, unlike Link.
Unlike Link.
Bloody Link, never speaking.
Never speaking.
What is he thinking?
And
so mysterious.
This is almost like more of a, what's he thinking?
Just probably about me,
yeah, just doodling him in my notebook. What's he thinking? Got off track, talking about how great Link is again. Yeah, so this is almost more of a technical point, but Zelda speaks. And because of that,
it's weirdly easy to relate to characters when they speak.
Yeah, when they speak, when they have something to say.
Yeah.
And what Zelda says is quite interesting. You know, I like the way that she is sort of impetuous and plucky and like super enthusiastic about science and reading.
Go on. Taste it.
And how annoyed she gets at Link always being around.
Yeah,
and Link's like,
she's like, you don't have to follow me, and Link's like, you know.
Return to the castle and tell that to my father, please. And stop following me!
Yeah. And then she's like, I'm off now, and he's like, oh. Yeah. Just like, just go.
Link,
get out of here.
Leave me alone. Castle's right there. I'm gonna be fine.
That's how I imagine Link running in this scenario.
There are other characters who speak, but they're not. They don't have
There's that bird you hate.
Oh, that bird. Millhouse bird.
Yeah, Millhouse bird.
Millhouse bird is my name for him.
Oh, you must pardon me. I forgot you have no way of making it up to that divine beast on your own. Good luck sealing the darkness!
Revali.
Revali's Gale.
Revali's Gale is now ready.
Now ready.
Oh, is it Revali? Well, cool. I managed fine for a long time without it.
Such a jerk, that's just as an aside. When he's
like,
I'm going up to the divine beast now, can you do this? And I'm like, well, no, I can't, because you're a bird, aren't you?
And yet, Link gets up there despite not having wings when he gets up
I'm the one with the sword that seals the darkness. I'm the only one who can kill Ganon, Dwarf.
Why don't you, Revali, why don't you focus on being pilot of your divine beast? Oh no, wait, you were killed and you lost control of it.
And he's like, oh, I lost the fight to win Blight Ganon, but maybe you probably won't do better. Kill him, and he's like, oh, well.
Oh, that seemed easy to you.
Oh, no,
I loosened him for you.
What's his quote? He's like, I guess I hadn't really expected how lucky you would be. And I'm like, you little bird jerk.
Feel free to thank me now. Or, never mind, just go.
You're lucky you died 100 years ago, friend.
But although this is the first Zelda game that introduces that kind of voice acting, most of the characters are, and again, I love the game, kind of two-dimensional, you know? And Zelda is the only one who has that little bit of depth. So I think the voice acting really adds a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Finally, it feels like this is the first game in the Zelda series that really acknowledges that it's her name on the goddamn box. So
it is the Legend of Zelda.
It's the Legend of Zelda.
Not the Legend of Link.
But it's the first one that feels like that. Like your job as player in the game is to be spectator to her story, not really to have a story yourself.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, she has pulled her weight in past games. You remember when you're escaping from Ganondorf's castle and she's shielding you from the...
Oh yeah. In Ocarina of Time, you're like running down the
tower.
Running down the spiral.
But again, it's always just...
She's helping.
It feels like it's your story and then she turns up at the end to help out. Whereas this feels like it's her story throughout the whole thing that you're advancing. As we were saying earlier, that you're just sort of a instrument of Zelda in this.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's... And also, you look at the true ending you get after you get all the memories.
Which is, remind me what happens in that?
The two of you are in a field, and she's like, I can't hear the sword anymore. Ganon's been sealed away. One of the divine beasts is on the blink. Let's go.
Let's go turn it off and on again.
Probably Revali's.
Probably hasn't updated his software.
The firmware of the divine beast.
I hate that bird.
His beastware. And then she says, oh, also, we should go to Zora's domain and talk to the King Zora man.
Oh yeah.
And tell him how his daughter died, which I was like,
that's nice.
Does he not know? I mean, I thought he knew. I talked to him about it.
It's interesting that Link doesn't feel compelled to have that conversation, even though he knows just as much. And he's already been there.
But the thing about that ending is that it's a monologue from Zelda, and I mean Link is there, but he's just like, just following along behind her.
Yeah.
And, he may as well not be there. She may as well be talking to a tree. for the amounts of input that Link has.
Yeah.
She's like, right, here's what we're going to do. These are all the things we're going to do in the future. Here's a little intriguing tidbit for you guys.
Yeah.
And then end. And Link's like... So...
Yeah, it definitely... She's the one with the... She's the one making the decisions. She's the one with the agency right at the end of the game, which is like the crucial final word. She gets the final word in the game.
I'm surprised to admit it, but I can accept that.
Yeah, exactly. Link is he's like a remote control device for the Master Sword. He's like, pop a Master Sword in him and plonk him down and he'll just go and kill all your enemies.
Just walk forward, Master Swording.
Interesting that. And
Zelda's
like,
Zelda just turns him, points him at Ganon.
Yeah, here's a bow, use that.
Yeah.
Great, now I can just, done. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, she is...
Cheers, Link. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Link, great as he is not the main character.
Not in Breath of the Wild, absolutely. And I feel like we have satisfactorily proved that,
yes.
Andy, do you?
I agree.
But if you guys feel different, then believe it or not, we do still want to hear from you. We will.
Maybe you do.
Well, I'm interested. I'm open to other suggestions and possibilities. So if you've played Breath of the Wild and you have any thoughts on Zelda or indeed on anything in the game.
On the story, how much you hate Rivali, maybe?
Oh, Rivali. Yeah, if you want to share in our frustrations.
Just vent down there about that jerk.
Rivali, why you gotta make everything so
why
difficult?
you gotta be this way, Rivali?
Why, Rivali? You're so fired from the Guardian Squad. Divine Beast gang out.
Yeah. We'll get a Korok in to pilot it.
Yeah.
How about that?
Korok would do a great job.
Yeah.
Just be like, twee-hee, I'm helping.
He'd be like, yaha!
Yaha! Fire the laser into the castle. No, Korok.
Not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem.
So anyway, put your theories about Zelda and Breath of the Wild in the comments down below.
And thank you for watching, and we will see you guys next time. Andy, let's be Link.